Hey everyone, it's Steph. Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the reading rush. So I will put the originators of the reading rush down in the comments. I'm super excited to do my first reading rush. So today I'm going to be talking about the books that I will hopefully get to. So to be able to have 7 prompts to get through in a matter of 8 days, from the 20th to the 28th, I'm like, can I do it? Sure, let's give this a go. It's like I'm exercising. I don't know what I'm doing here. Bench pressing? Lifting? I feel like Harpo from the Marx Brothers, who's like, watch any of the Marx Brothers movies. Harpo does it in every single one. Prompt number 1 is to read a book that matches the color of your birthstone. My birthstone is emerald. It's just beautiful, but it's not very easy to find books that have an emerald green color on the cover. So I have 2 options here. I'm kind of torn between them. Weigh in your thoughts below. We have the Radium Girls, which has been on my TBR for a while, and that's where I got all these ideas from. I just looked at my TBR and looked at books that I wanted to read, haven't gotten to yet. So we had the Radium Girls, which is a nonfiction, real life inspired book. And then we have a fictional princessy story, I think it's a romance, called The Princess Companion. Torn between these 2. This one's a teensy bit shorter than this one, which is kind of why I'm leaning towards this. But I still want to get to Radium Girls. These are my 2 options. Let me know in the comments below if you've read either of them, what you recommend. Both of them have emerald green covers, so I'm thinking about it. Number 2, a book that starts with the word the. So there are tons of options here. Some of the options I considered are The Lady in Gold, because I love the movie with Ryan Reynolds and Helen Mirren, based on a true story. We have The Handmaid's Tale, which I've never gotten to, and I want to read it before I think about watching the TV show version. Also, The Lost Lieutenant. So this one's my cutesy Regency romance, which definitely has my attention. So between that one and The Handmaid's Tale, I think I'll put Lady in Gold in the back burner for now. So weighing between those 2, leaning towards The Handmaid's Tale because I want to figure out what the deal is with this book. Number 3, inspired by a movie. So there are 3 options I came up with: Jurassic Park, The Princess Bride, or The Secret Life of Bees. I'm leaning towards Princess Bride because I love that movie. I just rewatched it with my husband a couple weeks ago, and it had been a while since I'd seen it, but I forgot how many of the lines I knew by heart. And I was just like, oh, these characters, this story is so good. I definitely want to learn more about the original content. I know the author created this Princess Bride story based off of talking to his 2 young daughters at the time and said, what should I write a book about? And one said a princess and one said a bride. So he combined the 2 and I wrote the story. Super interesting, right? So I think that's what I'm going to go with, Princess Bride. If you have read this, definitely let me know in the comments. Number 4, read the first book that you touch. So I don't have that many books that I own. I read a ton of books from the library, but one that I have had on my nightstand forever is a book called Morals and Morality. And it's basically kind of a really interesting summation of all 6 of Jane Austen's novels, and it talks about the different central themes that run throughout each of the stories, whether it be lies, deception, or motivations for different character traits, and it sounds so interesting. I definitely want to check this out. This is a nonfiction book that was gifted to me by a friend, so this is definitely on my TBR, something I want to dive into and check out. Number 5, read a book completely out of your house. I thought it meant like you'd read something out of the normal. When I was watching someone else's reading rush video, I was like, oh, they just mean outside, like physically outside. So maybe I'll read this outside, maybe I'll read this inside, but what I took it for was something that I don't typically read. So I'm starting to read a few more thrillers. Recently I've been watching Noelle Gallagher's YouTube videos, and she's kind of talking about Stephen King, and I'm kind of like, maybe I could read a Stephen King that wouldn't give me nightmares for the rest of my life. So I'm leaning towards Misery because that's the shortest one. I've kind of seen little clips of the Kathy Bates movie. It sounds like it's pretty straightforward. It's about a major fan of a published series, and her favorite character gets killed off and is devastated. So it sounds like the author is in a car accident. She takes him home. It's like, oh, I'm gonna help you get back to health or something like that. But then no, I'm gonna hold you hostage until you rectify the mistake that was made because you killed off my favorite character. Premise is interesting. It's only 350, 380 pages, somewhere in that range. So I think I'm gonna check that out. Hopefully it won't scar me for life. Fingers crossed. I'm optimistic it won't, but that'll be an interesting journey. Try something new. Alright, moving on. Read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of. That kind of fits for Stephen King because I don't necessarily love horror, but I'm starting to read more thriller, murder mystery kind of things. So we're gonna put Misery for that. I'm also wanting to read a classic. I've not read too many classics this year, but I do tend to make a habit of intentionally getting to some classics each year, and Wuthering Heights is on my priority list. So I'm going to be getting to that, and I probably listen to that on audiobook because I find the classics are easier to kind of digest if I'm listening to it as opposed to reading it. It slows me down and it takes me more time just to get through it. So. And then we have read a book that takes place on a different continent than where you live. Since I do not live in the UK, Wuthering Heights counts as taking place somewhere else. So I'm just going to double dip there and make that happen. So I have 7 prompts, 6 books, 1 week. Can she do it? Stay tuned. So I hope you find some books that bring some sunshine to your day. I am feeling sunshiny today. I'm so excited to be back recording another video for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Definitely let me know what your favorite selections are down below for the reading rush. Let's cheer each other on as we try to read more books because books are delightful. So I hope you find some books that bring some sunshine to your day, and I will chat with you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.